Hey guys, Adam Broussard here. Uh, Looked like a question that I was asked. How would I get into real estate today? Now, if you watch the channel or if you go to my Facebook, you realize I am in real estate. That's where I started really my business career. Uh, First started my career in the U.S. Navy as a information system technician. Um, but nevertheless, after that, I did odd and end real estate wise, physical construction wise. Was not good at that by no means. And then I ended up with an office job working for a contractor. And that's where I learned the office side of things and where I realized that the office is where you understand about making money and keeping track of everything. Now, in the field, you have to have the field. Um, that's that's your product. That's what you do. But how how would I how would I suggest somebody make money? Well, I have somebody that's working with me right now that's jumping into real estate, and there's two things that immediately I would do right now, and that's number one, have or three things. Number one, if you have a job, which you probably do, stay at that job. And if it's a job you like, exhaust every opportunity to grow with it and get your income as high as you can. If it's a job you do not like, that's okay. Exhaust every opportunity to make as much money as you can. And when you get off of that job, then you can roll into step number two. And that is get your real estate license. Now, is it going to be fun? None of this is really fun except once you accomplish some things, it can be. Um, but going to get your real estate license gives you the keys to understanding and having the data um, and, of what is real estate, and it kind of gives you that whole broad contracts, negotiating, um, and stuff like that. Plus, you can get a mentor. You can do real estates, buying and selling, or helping people buy and sell as a side gig. You don't have to necessarily have the full time aspect of it. Um, but I would get that. I would get that first. The third thing that I would develop is developing the videoing and editing, utilizing your phone for everything that you're doing. Whether it's you want to showcase a house or whatever, which I really don't, I really don't believe in, but the skill set of doing it and getting out there is very important because starting a Facebook, Instagram, YouTube brand is going to be continue to be more essential as life continues to move on because people want to know that hey, you know what you're doing. And the only way that I feel that you can broadcast your story is by not even starting a website just yet, just like a Facebook that dictates everything that you have going on, and and then learning how to make that pretty. You know, I have a guy in my office. I'm 41, about to be 42 years old, and it's hard for me to be motivated to post everything up because I just don't come from an environment where like, all right, man, I need to post this. But I do come from the environment of storytelling and telling people, hey, this is what I've accomplished in my life or in my career or my personal life or spiritual life, whatever. And now I realize, well, man, the biggest benefit of it is you getting engaged in a conversation. People will already know what you do if they looked you up and you've legitimately document the things that you've been doing. And so, um, it's pretty interesting to kind of think that, man, the story that is being told through my life is actually being told virtually, which allows other people to see that. And I do it with all the companies that I have too. It's telling a story about who you are, and having that understanding that the story will lead to other people in business to come to you at times as you continue to progress. That feeds into the real estate, and that feeds into whatever you're doing. So those are the three things that I would do. Now, you hadn't even bought a property yet, but in anything that you do, you need to lay a good foundation. So once you start getting into real estate and you're starting to document everything, not you have to be a perfectionist, you have to be perfect at it or anything of that nature. Uh, but once you have some money saved and your ability to go to either a bank or a private investor to say, hey, let's try this because I'm confident that I know how to buy something and I'm confident that I know how to sell it. Uh, then you go tackle it. And there's a lot of people that do wholesaling first, which to a certain degree, I see why. It's kind of like low hanging fruit there. You don't need a license to do it, and but at the same time, you're not really learning good etiquette when it comes to negotiating, um, as well as you would as if you're a real estate agent. Not that I'm knocking anybody down. There's a lot of wholesalers that know how to negotiate very well, that understand contracts very well. So by no means am I knocking out wholesalers, but in the case of most people, and I'm witnessing friends thinking that they can do it right out the gate, and it's like, man, you got a lot to learn. Um, and before you do like a fix and flip type deal or get a rental property, like, man, learn those basic skills. And so if you do go in the wholesale direction, definitely have a mentor to help guide you, and it's probably going to cost you money to do it. It's either going to cost you splitting some deals, or it's going to cost you literally paying the mentor. And so that's how you can fast track. But with wholesaling, there's a lot more driving around, a lot more dead end leads than if you were a realtor, uh, where you had a mentor that you didn't necessarily have to pay for, but you can split listings and all that kind of stuff. Uh, and you can be sitting at a centralized location answering phones as leads come to you and stuff like that. So um, just a little bit different. I've done wholesaling um, before in the past, but I always endorse if somebody's going to learn how to jump. My path is a realtor, and wholesaling is not a bad gig. You can make a lot of money wholesaling. There's a lot of people that do it. Um, but it does cost a lot of money, and more than you would think, and more than what people would probably be telling you online, that it's going to cost you. I know you just see, hey, we got these big checks, but they were spending some big checks to get those checks. Um, the same with every business. I don't know if there's ever a business, um, where you don't have to spend money to make a little bit of money. And wholesalers, just like realtors, for a fair period of time in the last 10 years, was really rolling pretty well. But now we're in an environment the last year, 2 years, where you really got to work. I mean, there ain't no doubt about it. It ain't coming easy, and unless you've built up a system um, to take on this time, which I'm going to be honest with you, I understand the time frame that we in, but I had some resources prepared going into this, but it's just been very tough, even for a guy like me that has things, that have done accomplishments in the real estate world and all that kind of stuff. So, long story short, those are the main things, and really, I'm gonna beat up the last third, the third one real quick. Man, mastering branding online is something that my goal is for 2025 for me and my companies, and mastering the art of the video. Like learning how to utilize the one-on-one camera like I'm doing now, having also a better production type of video, and then also AI videos. Um, Man, doing that and utilizing that with real estate will really set you above and beyond, because I'm watching it in our local market. People, um, not doing that, and it's okay for now. We typically are about 10 years behind the times over here in Louisiana, behind the major cities that are already advanced. You know, we're probably about 5 to 10 years behind them. But man, I'm seeing it coming very quickly, and I don't want to spend another 5, 10 years delayed. So if I was young, 20 years old, those are the paths I would take, steps I would take, and and I hope that helps out. So, y'all have a good day. We'll see you later.